And we're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. Let's get into it. The intro of the movie was probably the best part of the movie. The entire sequence of young Diana competing in the Fall Guys tournament of the Amazonian women was pretty cool, and I was feeling it. I was jiving. Unfortunately, that was the height of the movie, and everything from there was just downhill. From there, we went to the mall sequence, which was our first look at the really just cheesy and awful CG effects for Wonder Woman in this movie. I mean, she just seemed to float around everywhere and just be totally disconnected from her environment. The entire sequence was, I think someone said it best online, which was that we were waiting for the reveal that this was the set of a cheesy 1980s Wonder Woman movie that she was starring in, kind of like something from The Boys or something like that. I think the whole movie suffered dramatically from the idea of the Dreamstone, which just didn't make sense. I mean, it started out with a cool idea, and slowly the logic behind it just fell apart more and more and more. Here starts out this object that you can hold, and it'll grant you one wish if you wish for something. And that was cool. It's an interesting idea. But as soon as Maxwell Lord got his hands on it, things just started to go sour. I mean, first of all, he wishes to become the Dreamstone. Impractical. That is a weird way to try and do the whole I wish for 1,000 wishes sort of thing. I mean, there've got to be better ways to cheat the system than become the Dreamstone, at which point you're forcing yourself to have other people put their hands on you and wish for the thing you want them to wish for. Bizarre. Fortunately, in his case, things started to work out because these rules of, well, the person needs to make a wish started to get really blurry. I mean, it went from someone saying, I wish for X, to Maxwell Lord just being able to wish for them, and he would get them to say, oh, well, you wish for that, right? And they would say, yeah, I wish for that. Okay. Then it started to get to the point where just casual agreement would count. So he could simply say, oh yeah, wouldn't it be great if X? And if they went, yeah, that'd be great, boom, that counts. From there, it gets to the point of anything starts to work. I mean, he gets to the point of simply saying, man, it'd be nice if there was no traffic. And if someone else goes, yeah, that'd be nice, boom, wish granted, there you go. And after an entire movie of buildup that people need to touch him, he is the Dreamstone, you need to touch the Dreamstone to make your wish work. Well, no, because at some point, particles. Just particles. Like, particles touch us all, so particles. I mean, whoa. Where's the logic here? Where's the consistency to how this Dreamstone works? And all of a sudden, he's using his side of the Dreamstone. Someone wishes for something, he gets to take something in return. He's just starting to use it to do whatever he wants. This is not the monkey's paw anymore. He's not simply finding loopholes in their wishes and having some balance between what they asked for and what they get. He's just kind of taking whatever he wants. He's starting to rebuild his health. He's given powers to Cheetah. He'll turn her into a cheetah. What the hell? I mean, this really is indicative of lots of the logical holes that were in this movie. And look, it's a superhero movie. You try and turn your brain off the best you can, but some things just don't make sense. Steve and Diana go to a museum to get themselves a plane, and instead of grabbing a plane that Steve would know how to fly from back in his time, they take a modern jet, and he teaches himself how to fly it in about 10 seconds. How about the fact that the plane's already fueled up? This is a plane sitting in a museum. This should not have enough fuel in it to get to Egypt. But no, they're good. That's fine. Then they're flying through fireworks. First of all, dangerous. Second of all, why is Steve amazed by fireworks? Fireworks were invented in the early 1800s. Did someone not fact check this? I mean, even sloppy things like Wonder Woman's costume is just coming on and off. By the time they're in Egypt, she's in full civilian clothes while she's in the car with Steve. And from one shot to the next, she is in just Wonder Woman gear. There was no going into a phone booth equivalent here. She's just magically out of her clothes and into other clothes. Not a huge gripe, but it just doesn't help the immersion of the movie. You just start to lose touch with the experience. Speaking of Wonder Woman, her only 2 achievements were given to her on a silver platter, and it completely undermined any interesting character development that she may have had this movie. First, she needs to make her jet invisible. Okay, I get it. We need an invisible jet for Wonder Woman. Cool. But she pitches the idea and accomplishes it within 60 seconds. She goes, oh, maybe I think I heard about my dad doing this once, and just does it. Done. Easy. And then we get a line in the movie about, oh man, I never understood flying, I just don't get it. And Steve gives one throwaway line that she remembers later, and he's like, it's the wind. And, oh, it's the wind? Oh, I got it, I can fly now. What, you had never tried the wind? You tried the other element, you tried fire and earth and water, but you just never thought to try wind? Jesus Christ. And now Wonder Woman has taught herself how to fly, and she instantly flies over back to her apartment to pick up a golden suit that has wings. I mean, what? Why would you put on a suit with wings? You just learned how to fly. You just figured that out. What is that? What was the point of that suit? The suit does nothing. The wings protect you from cheetah attacks, I guess. That's cool. And this all led up to that absolute mess of an ending where, I mean, character motivations have completely fallen apart at this point. What does Maxwell Lord want? You know, the movie starts with him being a total shyster. He wants his company to succeed, and when he becomes the Dreamstone, he gets that right away. And all of a sudden, he just starts doing stuff. We're never given a clear idea of what he wants beyond that, other than more. More! Apparently what he wants is to step into a giant beam of light and laugh maniacally. That's what he wants. And Pedro Pascal, bless his heart, he was doing a great job in the beginning of this movie. And I gotta feel like I blame the director, because I know he's a great actor, and by the end of that movie, he is going full Nick Cage on us. It is out of control. Just other bizarre things about some of the characters. Wonder Woman brings Steve back to life, but I guess they weren't down with the idea of like straight up necromancy, so it's not like he dug himself out of the ground and is like zombie Steve. They just put him in some other dude's body. What's the point of that? That didn't end up doing anything or meaning anything or mattering in any way. He just was in some other dude's body. Barbara was kind of an interesting character, and I think Kristen Wiig actually did a pretty good job, despite what some people online are saying. She was funny early on and likable, and I think her gradual turn to the villain was done pretty well. I think they could have stopped before they went full cats on us. I don't know that we needed her to literally become a cheetah. I think there was a lot of good stuff that was happening, and then all of a sudden they just decided we really needed this fan service of her just literally becoming a cheetah, and it was kind of terrible. The other really bizarre thing about the ending is there are no consequences for anybody. Maxwell Lord has been a manipulative fuck the entire movie, and like pulled strings on the president of the United States, and Barbara was right there with him, like fighting Secret Service agents, and you know, they had basically broken into the White House. And by the end of the movie, Diana's amazing speech has just, I don't know, melted his heart, and now he goes and reunites with his son, and Barbara looks at the sunrise. And what about prison? What about consequences? What about, like, this is not okay. Why did these villains just get off scot-free like this was all fine? Maxwell Lord almost ended the world. You know, he almost brought down modern civilization, and no, he gets his moment with his son. That's cool. And oh boy, that Dreamstone stuff. Okay, so particles. So everyone's making wishes, and the entire world is falling apart, and it's bad. And how do we save the day here? They've literally set the stakes so that the only way to save the day is if every single person who's made a wish renounces it. Every single human being who has seen this message has to renounce their wish, from just petty people who are in an argument about Irish people and dropping dead, all the way to like insane war criminals in the Middle East who are wishing for nukes and stuff like that. But Diana's speech is apparently so amazing, she's touched so many hearts, that literally every single person renounces their wish. We can't even get every single person in this country to agree that the earth is round. And you're telling me we got every single person on the planet to renounce their wish? No margin of error? No decimal point percentage of, well, no, not that crazy person? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. It's completely impractical. If all that wasn't enough, just around the edges was a whole bunch of other problems. The awful CG that just looked so goofy every time Diana was flying through the air, man. And I don't know how that's possible with modern budget. What happened? And so what's the point of this movie? What are the morals it's trying to teach? What are the themes of this movie? Well, it seems to me that the basic themes are all men are pigs and want to rape you constantly, other than the prettiest ones. Any obstacles you can overcome by being beautiful and not trying very hard. And don't worry if you're a piece of shit bad guy, because nothing bad's going to happen to you. These are the life lessons that this movie's handing out, from what I can tell. Another big miss for the DCEU. This interconnected universe is just cursed. I don't know what the deal is, but it just has never worked. Let's hope that the next video is a little more cheerful, huh?